If you found your way on my channel, you probably have a legal something about something. Today's legal something will be about statute of limitations. You can give a correct answer about the statute of limitations while still leaving something to be desired or giving an incomplete answer. Today we're not going to go over every field of law and every statute of limitations, so you won't get a complete answer here either, but hopefully a digestible guide on how to determine what is important for you to figure out what your statute of limitations might be. There are several fields of law: contract law, real estate law, securities law, personal injury. Each field of law has different claims. When you go to sue somebody, you sue them on a claim or a cause of action. The cause of action is what they did that allowed you to bring a claim against them. That's going to be really important, and that is surrounded by your facts. Different facts can bring different claims. Claims can overlap, and claims can share facts. So you may have a set of facts that brings 2 or 3 or 4 claims, and your claims will likely overlap. So each claim is going to have its own statute of limitations. Your facts are also going to matter, because if your action that came against you, your cause of action that allowed you to bring your claim, was unapparent, or there was an active concealment of those facts, it will do something called tolling. When your statute of limitations tolls, it means it was paused or delayed until the action became apparent or until various purposes for tolling have been met, such as there is a cause of action called adverse possession, or a claim for adverse possession. If you adversely possess somebody's property, you open and notoriously, continuously, for a period of years, which varies based on your jurisdiction, take over their property. Use it and treat it as your own, maintain it, all those things. That's adverse possession. If the person who you are adversely possessing their property is a minor, the statute of limitation tolls until they reach the age of majority, which in most states is 18. If the person who are you trying to adversely possess is incarcerated or is mentally incapacitated, the statute of limitations tolls until they have reached capacity. These are various ways of tolling statute of limitations. You can also toll statute of limitations with active concealment of facts. This varies from scenario to scenario, and you would have to argue the circumstance that the facts were actively concealed. But an example might be, if a judge found it to be active concealment, that you are out of the country, and I know you're out of the country, so I go and rob your home. Well, I'm stealing from your home knowing you do not have actual or inquiry notice. You don't have any way of knowing or apparent knowledge of the fact that I did this action against you. You may have an ability to toll your statute of limitations based on the fact that you did not have actual knowledge of the action against you, but also there was no way for you to have apparent knowledge. And I chose to steal from you knowing that you would not know of it in the current period of statute of limitations. Statute of limitations varies from the statute of repose. Tolling is affected by the statute of repose, but tolling will postpone statutes of limitations. I'll make a short video on the statute of repose so you can compare the two to understand your timelines on making a claim.